Okay. Hi, Bowen. This is Neil Bowie from Dorkaholics.com.
Hi Neil, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for making time for me this morning.
Thanks for talking.
How would you describe your character Howie in Fire Island?
Ooh, Howie is a sort of down on his luck romantic who, despite internalizing a lot of rejection, maybe, or some feeling of not working within this like aesthetic standard in the gay community, still holds out hope for some semblance of romance while he's in a place that's as hedonistic and as immediately gratifying as Fire Island, and sort of that sort of bumps up against Noah, Joel Kim Booster's character's um, sort of ideal situations for him.
And how different or similar is your real life friendship with Joel Kim Booster from that of your characters in the movie?
I would say it's just similar enough in the broad strokes, but also in the specifics, it's of course, uh, pretty different. Early on in our trips to Fire Island together, I think Joel and I were probably pursuing different things and things that are reflected in the characters. Where I was probably looking for something that was not as readily available as things that are um, just quick and nice and vacation boyfriendy. And I feel like he and I were always switching configurations between whether or not we wanted one thing or the other. But I mean, overall, it's pretty similar, I guess.
I know the film has had a lot of comparisons made to Pride and Prejudice are very overt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in what ways do you think those comparisons have benefited the film or the characters?
I think it has benefited a lot by just giving people a way into the story. It's definitely a big pitch or a big sell to ask a lot of people to watch um, a movie that's so specific in its experience in terms of being a queer Asian rom com. Um, but the thing that's sort of universally appealing, that's perennially appealing for a lot of people through the last, through like the last, almost 2 centuries um, has been this familiarity with Jane Austen's work.
Hmm. If I read correctly, I know originally Fire Island was meant to be a series on the thing we call Quibi, but is now a Searchlight Pictures feature. Do you know if that shift played any significant changes for the roles of the characters besides the commitment?
Right. I think the characters were probably on the same journeys, both in the original structure, which was episodic, and into this filmic structure where you can track like the arcs in a more seamless way. But in the Quibi version, I think it was more punctuated by these smaller beats, which is sort of by virtue of like the platform. And I do really feel that while it could have been great on Quibi, I feel like it's in its best form uh, as a film, and I think everyone in the production is just really grateful to Searchlight for giving us this life raft and life preserver after things sort of were up in the air.
Mhm. How do you hope people walk away after seeing the film feel
I
or think about?
Yeah, I mean, I think the film does a lot of things that I love about movies, but in terms of a rom-com, I love any rom-com that makes me want to like go out there and like fall in love or be with the person I love and just pursue that emotional sense. And for a vacation movie, I feel like I love when vacation movies make me feel like I've gone to the place. And I think both things are happening at once with ours, hopefully, is that I hope that people come away from the film wanting to like experience some form of love with anybody that they are around, whether it's a romantic partner or their chosen family relationships. And then two, that it feels like you've gone to Fire Island with us, even for people who haven't gone. For people who have gone, like me, the couple times I've watched the movie so far, it feels like by the end I've gone on a trip there. And I really hope that translates.
Hmm. Um, what was it filmed on location at the actual Fire Island?
Yeah, we did 5 weeks of shooting, and 2 of those weeks were on Fire Island. And so yeah, 40% of the movie was shot on location. But the um, just out of production necessity, a lot of things were shot like throughout the tri-state area. But it was really important that we got the ethos of going there and sort of capture that authentically.
Hmm. I mean, would you say the film is kind of indirectly, but out of necessity, a big promotion for people to go on their own journeys to Fire Island?
I mean, it doesn't have to be Fire Island, because I mean, I think a reality that I'm willing to admit and acknowledge is that it gets more and more financially cost prohibitive. It just gets more cost prohibitive every year to go. As more people move into the city, or more people just have access to some way into some housing situation on Fire Island, the market just sort of kind of goes a little bit haywire, and it's certainly challenging for a lot of people I know to go, including myself. It was sort of like this. Anyway, I won't go into the details, but it's just hard. It gets harder every year to go, and I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to encourage people to go to Fire Island, but it can certainly encourage people to venture outside of their parameters with people they love and experience this anywhere. I feel like you could set this movie in like, the gay neighborhood of Boston or something, and have it work. Whatever space is designated for queer people, I think this story all kind of still is able to be transposed that way.
Hmm. And in the same way that Crazy Rich Asians kind of serves as this milestone in Asian American cinema, where do you see Fire Island kind of sitting in terms of this streak of Asian American films?
I think it just sort of maybe adds to like the tapestry. I don't know if it'll be a milestone. I feel like we didn't Joel and Andrew didn't really necessarily set out for that. I think they just wanted to make a film that felt honest. But I feel like hopefully this just gives like a different flavor in the selection of Asian American films. And I think Andrew's already contributed so much to that in Spa Night and in Driveways. And those are completely different films from this one. So I feel like it just is adding to like the multitude of different kinds of film experiences we can enjoy, if we want to specifically seek out an Asian American story, or just watch a rom-com that happens to have, four Asian leads.
Hmm. And what do you hope that audiences walk away with, thinking or feeling after watching Fire Island?
I think what I was saying earlier, like just feeling like they went on vacation with us, feeling like they um can still hold out hope for something in an environment that is as uh maybe challenging for romance as Fire Island is sometimes, or kind of like lays a path to it. I hope people just are inspired by that notion that like things are possible, that you can hold out a torch for just the idea of a person to fall in love with.
Mm. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time this morning, Bowen. I really appreciate it.
Neil, have a good one.
You as well.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.